Yeah, okay.
Okay, last class we learned about performance appraisal method. Okay, we saw how it works. It starts from planning, monitoring, reviewing, and then rewarding finally. Okay, so then we went through this whole cycle which happens over and over again. Right now, today we'll be looking at the performance appraisal methods. Okay, so performance appraisal is like mostly done once a year. So there are a few methods that the appraisal can be done. So there are two methods. The first method is called the individual evaluation method, and the second one is called the group evaluation method. Individual evaluation method is one person doing the whole evaluation or the appraisal process, whereas group evaluation method means like one or more people together doing an evaluation process, or the appraisal is called the group evaluation method. Is that clear?
Miss.
Okay, so then under these individual evaluation methods, these are few of the methods that you have. These are few of the techniques that you can see. Right? Can you write this?
Good afternoon, Miss.
Good afternoon. Who is that? Dulakshani? Right. Okay, are we done?
No, miss.
Okay. Okay, are we done?
Yes, miss.
Right. So under this individual evaluation method, there are a lot of different methods that you all can follow in an organization. So there's something called this confidential report, essay evaluation, critical incidents, checklist, graphic rating skills, behavior bars, and MBO, right? So we'll look into few of these stuffs today. So basically confidential report means it's like a report. You all have something called this assignment. So there's something similar to it called the report. So it's a report about an employee. For an example, let me assume that I'm doing an appraisal for Prashantan. So that report will consist of all the information regarding Prashantan. So that is called a report. So these are different individual evaluation methods, whereas only one person is doing this evaluation process. Okay, not a lot of people. For an example, say I'm your manager and you people are my employees. It is only me who will do this evaluation process. Not like too many people will join me. Not yeah. So that is the individual evaluation method. So we'll look into a few of these stuffs today. So I'll move on to the next slide. So the next one is called the group evaluation method. Here in this, it is not only me who will be evaluating you. It can be you all evaluating you, me evaluating you, your friends evaluating you, things like that. Okay, so a lot of people together will evaluate Prashantan. That is called group evaluation method. So for an example, I will evaluate Prashantan. Prashantan itself will evaluate him, and Parimala will also evaluate Prashantan. So things like that. So now different type of people will evaluate Prashantan's performance. Clear? So that is called group evaluation methods, and these are few examples of it. Can I all write it down? If you all have any doubts, please ask me. Okay.
And me.
Mm. So, under this group evaluation method, we have this ranking method, pair comparison, 360-degree appraisal. Out of this lot, 360-degree appraisal is the most famous one. Okay, so we'll study about it. Okay, so please pay attention to this method, because this is there in your assignment. You'll have to answer, right? So this is called the 360 appraisal interview method. So can I quickly copy this down? Okay, shall I start?
No.
Okay, let me start. Okay, so the 360-degree appraisal interview method. Once in a year, performance appraisals are like a bicycle and don't work. Workers need ongoing communication with team leaders and managers. So basically what they're saying is this falls under the group evaluation method, and So according, just like the name says, this is not done by an individual, it is done by a number of people together. So this is like this is a continuous process, like 360-degree feedback can help employees stay motivated. This is one of the most widely used appraisal methods. Okay, so this is like what is 360 degree? 360 degree is 360 degree means that you all can get information from all different angles. Okay, 360 degrees a full circle. Therefore, what it denotes is that you all can get information about about you know different angles, the whole thing. Okay, you all can get information regarding you all can get information as a whole. Okay, so it helps to stay employees motivated. Why it helps to stay employee motivated is that when I'm evaluating Parimala, so if I'm including Parimala also in the evaluation method, she will definitely feel motivated. And also it is like not always one person who is doing the evaluation process. If one person is doing, there are a lot of disadvantages. Like we'll say that I don't like one of my employee, so what I will do is I will totally like tell, I will evaluate, I'll be biased. So I will not evaluate him in the right way. I can write anything that I want. But if it is a 360-degree appraisal, the views are not only from me. Okay, so the views are from lot of different people. So when a lot of different people put their ideas, you can really find out what is the truth. So that is why a 360-degree appraisal interview is useful, and it can motivate employees because it is more fair. So it is fair and just. Okay, so this is one of the mostly widely used appraisal method. So like I told you before, this 360-degree appraisal is used by a lot of people. Okay, this is the most famous appraisal technique. Okay, so any doubts in that before moving to the next point? Prashantan,
No doubt, Miss.
Parimala,
Clear.
Dulakshani and Dilan.
No, miss.
Okay, right. In 360-degree feedback, every employee in an organization appraises his or her managers, peers, customers, suppliers, and also does a self-evaluation. So when it comes to this 360-degree, so like how many people evaluate? How many people does this appraisal? Is that yourself, that you will do your appraisal, your manager, peers, customers, and suppliers. Okay, so this method ensures effective performance analysis and total employee involved. Okay, so this is a this ensures, like I told you, like when a lot of people give their inputs. Okay, it's not only you, there are a lot of people. Okay, it's not only the manager, it is the suppliers, it is the customers. So there are a lot of people who gives input regarding Prashantan. So definitely the evaluation regarding Prashantan will be right rather than just one person doing it. So that is what is said there. And if not handled properly, this method can also suffer from the subjectivity of the appraiser. Right. So basically, this is the 360-degree appraisal model. So we'll say that you are the individual staff. Okay, we'll say Parimala or Prashantana Dulakshi, somebody that you can see the slide, right? So that is the person who we are going to appraise, or the person who we are going to evaluate. So when we evaluate this person, so these are the people who we will get information from. Definitely a supervisor. Supervisor is a person who you report to, or it can be a manager or whatever, right? So supervisor is a person you directly report to. He will definitely evaluate you. Okay, so other supervisors means like if you are reporting to any other supervisors other than me. Now you all are not only studying near me, right? So there are other module lecturers who teach you all. So from them I'll get an evaluation about you all. And then customers, if you all are working with the customers, if you are directly handling customers, I'll get a customer feedback also about you. And then I will get feedbacks from the teams that you all work. So if we'll assume that you all are working in different teams, so I will get the evaluation of these teams from these teams about you all. Okay, so then I will get subordinates. Subordinates means who are subordinates? Subordinates are people who you work with. Okay, subordinates are people who you uh, who works under you. Okay, subordinates are people who works under you. So if I'm your manager, you people are my subordinates, right? So I will get an evaluation regarding I will get the information from the subordinates also regarding your, if you are in case working, if you're in case managing people. Okay, peers mean people who you work along with. For an example, your co-worker. So for an example, Prashant's peer will be Parimala Dulakshani. Okay, I am I'm his supervisor, right? So if we'll say Prashant is supervising Dilan, so Dilan will be his subordinate. Okay, so I will get information regarding, I will get information from all these people regarding Prashant. So then I can come to a total 360-degree view regarding Prashant. Then I can finally come to a judgment regarding how he has performed throughout this year. Is that clear to you all?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Right. So that is called the 360-degree appraisal interview method. So basically you will have managers, like can you all see managers, peers. Peers are people who you work with, okay, alongside you, people who work. For an example, like just like your friends. Okay, so then you have customers. If you're directly handling customers, you will have customers feedback. Suppliers, we'll say you're working with suppliers. So who are suppliers? Suppliers are people who will supply raw materials or goods for the company. Okay, so those people are suppliers. Customers are people who will buy the end product or service from us. So if we are dealing with if you are, okay, in case if Dulakshani is dealing with customers and suppliers both, you will get information regarding Dulakshani from these two parties. Okay, and finally a self-evaluation. Self-evaluation means finally you should also evaluate yourself. Okay, not only these people, you will also have to provide a report about how you have performed throughout this year. Have to tell these are the stuffs that I did. So it is like, it is very fair. Okay, so you can also tell, all these people will also tell. Finally we can come to the right judgment, what has happened throughout this year. We can get a clear picture. Is that clear, everybody?
Yeah, miss.
Yes, sure. So basically you will have to write about this in your assignment. And just one thing that you'll have to know is like all these techniques, okay, all the methods that we're studying will have its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so there are few advantages when it comes to this appraisal method, 360-degree method, and there are also disadvantages. Okay, you all need to concentrate on both, right? So the disadvantage when it comes to this 360-degree appraisal can be it consumes a lot of time. Why does it consume a lot of time? Because it is not done by only one person. Okay, it is done by a lot of people. So when a lot of people are involved, definitely it will be time consuming, and also it can be costly as well, because you're taking time from a lot of people. So time is costly. Okay, in an organization perspective, time is costly. So basically, so these can be the disadvantages, whereas advantages can be, it can be more fair, unbiased. Unbiased means you can't support anybody. Okay, you have to treat everybody the same way, because it is not only your opinion, you can get opinions from different people. So what I want you all to do is that you will have to do your own research on the advantages and disadvantages of this 360-degree appraisal. Okay, whatever we are studying is very less. I want you all to do some research as well. Clear? Can you move to the next appraisal method?
Yes, miss.
Okay, do you all want to draw this diagram? Can I quickly draw this diagram?
Okay.
Are we done?
Yes.
Right.
No, miss.
Right.
Okay, miss.
Right. So the next one is management by objectives. Where does this type of evaluation fall? Is it a group evaluation or individual evaluation method? This is an individual evaluation method. So can I quickly write this down? Okay, are we done?
No, miss.
Mm. Okay, are we done? Are we done?
Yes, Mr.
Okay. So management by objectives. Okay. So this is another appraisal method. It is also said as MBO. The short form is called MBO. Which means management by objective is the appraisal method where managers and employees together identify, plan, organize, and communicate goals. So here what happens is that the manager and the employee, what they sit together and they plan. Okay, they find out what is the goal for this year. Okay, so what are the things that I'm going to be appraised of? If I'm the manager and if Prashant is my employee, we both sit together and we plan. Okay, 2020, so Prashant, you have to do these stuffs in 2020, and these are the stuff. So if you achieve these goals, so your evaluation is good. It is just like an examination. So these are the questions I'm going to give you for the examination, so you have to answer them properly. So we both will sit together and talk. So if Prashant has anything to argue, or he doesn't agree to, we will discuss about it. Okay, so we will discuss about it and plan together and finally come to a agreement. Finally come to an agreement. Okay, and set the relevant goals for that particular year. After setting clear goals, managers and subordinates periodically discusses the progress made to control and debate on the feasibility. So once a goal is set, you are on the process of achieving those goals. Okay, for that 2020 you'll be achieving the goals. So what happens is on and off. Okay, maybe once a month or twice a month, so both the manager and as well as subordinate. For an example, if it was me and Prashanta, we'll both sit together and then we'll discuss. Okay, so this was the goal that we have planned, and this is where we are now. So are we on track? So is everything under control? If there's anything that's gone wrong, so what are the things that we have to do to get back to the track? So we'll discuss our progress, how we have progressed in the past few months to achieve our goal. So if something has gone wrong, we can both definitely work on it and somehow achieve our goal, right? So this process usually lays more stress on tangible work or career oriented goals. So this is usually like these goals are something uh, where you can measure, basically, right? So for an example, can I measure your hard work? Can I measure your commitment? Can I measure your honestiness? No, I can't measure all those stuff. So these stuffs won't be measured under this management by objectives. All these stuffs will not be evaluated. Is that a good thing? No. Okay, that is a bad thing. So that is a negative effect of this management by objectives. Stress on tangible means anything that you can tangible means anything that you can touch. Okay, but in this perspective, anything that you can measure. Okay, where you can measure your objectives. Okay, so when the objectives are set, you can see okay, if this is done, we can tick off. So for an example, tangible objectives means like in this context, tangible objective means the number of products that you all have sold. So for an example, 2020 Parimala has to sell 1,000 packages. So so we can measure if she has sold 1,000 packages at the end of the at the beginning of the next year. If she has signed off, then she has achieved her target. So something like that. So that is tangible. But when she was achieving this 1,000 target, was she committed? Was she a good hard worker? Was she honest? All these stuffs cannot be evaluated or cannot be measured. So that is one of the disadvantage when it comes to this management by objectives. So intangible aspects like interpersonal skills, how you communicate with one another, your job commitment are often brushed under the rag. So often brushed under the rag means they are often like you can't measure them. So those stuffs are not evaluated. So you can't tell that this is a good evaluation method, but there are a few factors that you can't measure using this management by objective. Clear? This method is also slightly expensive and time intensive, time consuming. Okay, so this is expensive and also time consuming. These are the disadvantages, whereas there are advantages as well. So the most famous appraisal method that we are following today is the 360-degree appraisal, and then management by objectives is also one of the famous appraisal techniques that we are following today. Is that clear to you all?
Yes.
Dulakshani?
Yes, Miss. Clear.
Okay. So the next type of evaluation method is the assessment center method. Can I quickly copy this down? Right. So, assessment center method. All right. So, this assessment center method tests employees in a social related situation. This concept was introduced way back in 1930 by German army, but it has been polished and tailored to fit today's environment. So the next evaluation method that we're going to study for the day is called the assessment center method. So there are centers where they will do these assessments for you. Okay, assessments are what? Evaluations. Okay, exam sort of. Okay, so there are centers that who will carry on this assessment process to you. Right, right. So this was introduced by German army in the year of 1930. But now today we have modified it. Okay, we are not practicing like it was before. We are practicing. We have changed it according to our needs and wants, and then we are using it now according to our needs and wants. Okay, employees are asked to take part in situation exercises like in basket exercises, work groups, simulations, and role playing exercises that ensure success in a role. So what happens under this assessments group is that this is a center sort of thing where you will be assessed. Okay, so assessed means like you'll be tested. Okay, you'll be given loads of different exercises to test you. Okay, did somebody join us? Right, sorry. um Right. So, under the in this assessment center, what happens is that you all are given loads of exams or tests where you have to participate. Okay. So. There'll be exercises, group works, and role plays. Do you all know what role plays are? It's like something called this drama. Okay, so there'll be a lot of exercises where they will evaluate you. They will see how you're performing in each one of these tests. Okay, so while it gives an insight of the employee's personalities, ethics, tolerance, problem solving skills, introversion, extroversions, adaptability, and etc. So what happens is they're studying about your personality in this assessment center. So if each one of you all we all have different types of personalities. Okay, so basically, so they're studying your personality and they're finding out what are your strengths and weaknesses are, how your tolerance level is, how can you are you good in solving problems, are you an extrovert or introvert. So introvert means what? You don't socially talk to a lot of people. Is that noise? Right. Okay. So you all introvert means you all don't talk to a lot of people, whereas extrovert is that you will talk to everybody. You can socially mingle with a lot of people. So there are a few things that they will study about your personality, and it can also be unhealthy competition among the workers and bears adverse effects on low performers. So what happens is when I'm putting you all through these different examinations, what happens is you all sometimes might feel jealous. Maybe Parimala is doing better than Prashant and Dulakshani. So Dulakshani Parimala will feel jealous against Parimala. So so there'll be competition. There will be revenge. So they want to revenge Parimala. Parimala wants to revenge back Dulakshani. So things like that. Competition can always not be healthy. Okay, competitions can also be sometimes unhealthy as well. So and also what happens is through this assessment centers they will grade you all. Okay, we'll say Parimala is in top 1, Prashant is top 2, and Dulakshani is final is in the last position. So what happens is people will start judging Dulakshani. So it is not good for the low performance. It is like ranking in report cards. So who became first and who became last. So for the last person, it is not as good as the first person. So all these things. Okay, there are good things and bad things under this assessment centers. Basically, what this assessment centers does is that they will give you a lot of exercises to study your personality. Studying your personality, they will find out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and yeah, they'll study. Actually, this is a way to evaluate you people, studying your personality. Is that clear? Parimala, clear?
Yes, Miss.
Parimala and Dulakshani, are we clear?
Yes, miss. Yes, yes, clear.
Right.
Yes, miss. Yeah.
Who is Sharon? Who is Sharon?
Don't know, Miss.
Okay.
Please talk and see.
I don't know. Okay, fine. So the next one is, so the next method that we're going to study is behaviorally anchored rating scale, or the bars. Okay. Can I copy this?
Miss, excuse me, Miss.
Yes.
This is Milan hosting. Give me a
Yes.
few minutes, Miss. Who is that? Sharon. Sharon,
I'm not
it's
sure.
Hello, Sharon.
Yes.
நீங்க கிட்ஸாமா? ஹலோ, அப்பா இல்லையா வீட்டுல? அப்பா இல்லதாம்மா? ஹலோ.
Yeah.
இல்ல மிஸ், நாங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட். அவங்க கிட்ஸுக்கு வந்து இதே ஐடி தான் போயிருக்குது.
Okay.
சேஞ்ச்
Okay.
பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க, பட் அது சேஞ்ச் ஆகல போல. சேம் இல்ல கிட்ட நான் மாத்தி.
Okay. Fine.
சரி பாருங்க.
It's okay. Okay, y'all can copy the notes. Okay, are we done?
No, Miss.
Done, Miss.
Okay, girls, Parimal and
No,
Dulakshani.
Miss. No, Miss. Okay, miss.
Okay. So the next evaluation method is behaviorally anchored rating scale, or it is also called the bars. Okay, so when you see the diagram, the next on the right side of the slide itself, you all can figure out what this is. It is a you cannot hear me?
Yes, miss.
Yeah. Okay, it is a rating scale. It is a rating scale where there are different factors where you have to rate. Okay, behaviorally anchored rating scales bars bring out both qualitative and quantitative benefits in a performance appraisal process. Bars compares employee performance with specific behavioral examples that are anchored to numeric ratings. For an example, what happens in these bars is that have you all done a questionnaire or a survey or anything as such? You have a scale. Okay, so in that scale you had to rate how much you have to rate your answers. For an example, we'll say I'm going to measure your attendance, behavior towards subordinates, sincerity, and dependability. Okay, these are the four factors that I'm going to evaluate you on. Okay, so I have written all the four factors that I'm going to evaluate you on in a sheet of paper, and then I have given your smileys to mark. Okay, if you're very happy, you have to mark dark blue. If you're very sad, you have to mark red. Okay, so the sad smiley. Okay, if you have any other answers, it's slowly from blue to red. What happens is it's gradually reduces. Okay, the happiness level gradually reduces. Okay, so usually what you get is you get options saying that strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. So when it comes to attendance, I will say, okay, Prashantans, I strongly agree. I strongly am happy with his attendance, something like that. Okay, so there'll be a lot of bars where I will have to rate. Okay, so sincerity I will rate, behavior towards subordinates I will rate. So when you're looking to this diagram, you can see how it is rated. So basically, I will rate each one of your um, each of the things that I'm going to evaluate you all, the criteria that I have decided to evaluate you all on. Okay, this performance appraisal method is said to be better than the traditional methods. Okay, so they're saying that this method is better than all the old methods, right? BAR provides clear standards, improved feedback, accurate performance analysis, and consistent evaluation. So these are the advantages when it comes to bars. Okay, they say there are clear standards. Why clear standards? Because it is clearly stated: attendance, behavior towards subordinates, sincerity, dependability. In other appraisal methods, this clarity or this clear that this preciseness was missing. Okay, this is like very clear. Okay, I'm going to measure you all in attendance, and attendance also have given you all smileys. Out of the smileys, you'll have to tick. So everything is like very clear, and it is also, it is easy for us to measure the performance. Okay, and the feedback can also be high, so you all can also see, I can also see. So if I have a problem, if you are not happy with the answers, you all can ask, so why have you not given me good marks for my behavior towards subordinates? It's a green, it's not a blue. Why? So in that way, it's a bit easy for for all the people who are involved under this appraisal method. However, when done manually, it suffers from the usual distortions that are inherent in most review methodology. So but now this is computerized. Okay, whatever you all can see now is computerized. Okay, so but if you are going to do it manually using full caps paper, using half sheets or full caps or whatever, it's going to be time consuming. It is difficult for you all to gather all this information and analyze, because it's not like one or two people. Okay, there'll be 50, 100, so collecting all this information and analyzing them and is a very big difficult task. Okay, so those are a few of the disadvantages when it comes to this behaviorally anchored rating scale, right? So the next one is psychological appraisals. Can I copy this down? So was bars clear to you all?
Yes, miss.
Right. Please do ask me any doubts, okay, if you all have any. Okay, are we done?
Okay, miss. Done.
Right. So the next appraisal method is called the psychological appraisals. Okay, psychological appraisals comes in handy to determine the hidden potential of the employees. This method focuses on analyzing an employee's future performance rather than their past work. Okay, psychology. This is related to your psychology, right? So this is related to your mind. People, try to study your hidden potential. Hidden potential means things that you don't know, right? So there are few things that is inside you, but you are not aware of it. You still don't know your talents, your strengths. You really don't know about yourself. Okay, so psychologists, qualified people, can can undertake few tests, and um they can study about you. So that is called the psychological appraisals. So psychological appraisals does not consider your past work. It is not about analyzing your past work. It is about to make your future performance better. Okay, so psychological appraisal is always there to analyze your future performance, not your past work, right? So all the appraisal methods that we have studied so far was to review your past work and then come to a conclusion and then to evaluate you. But psychology, they're studying your mind and they are preparing you for the future. Clear? So qualified psychologists conduct a variety of tests: in-depth interviews, psychological tests, discussions, and more. You all know psychiatrists, you all know there are qualified psychologists. So what they do is they come and they test you in different ways. They will do an interview with you all, they will carry out different examinations, they will discuss, and there are a lot of more techniques that they will follow to identify an employee's emotional, intellectual, and other related traits. They're going to study your traits. What are traits? Are your characteristics. Okay, your personality. They're going to study your personality, right? However, it is rather slow and a complex process, and quality of the results is higher depending on the psychologist who administers the process. But this process is very slow, okay, because studying a person is not an easy job. Okay, this is slow, and this consumes a lot of time, and it is also expensive because you have to hire a qualified psychologist. So this can also be very expensive. And also the quality. So the quality, what they usually say is the quality of this process is very high. When you do a evaluation test, or when you conduct appraisal method using this method, the quality, the results of this appraisal is very high. But however, it depends on your psychologist, or your qualified psychologist. Okay, so your psychologist is responsible for that quality. For an example, we'll say the psychologist I'm hiring for my company is not good, so the results, or the appraisals, the evaluation results that she is going to produce to me is not good. Okay, whereas in the meantime, I'm going to hire a very good psychologist. She's the best psychologist in that particular field. So what happens is that when the results that she produce will be 100% accurate, so the quality of results will be also very good. So this appraisal technique is has a very big impact because of the psychologist that you can select. Is that clear? So basically they'll
Yes,
study
miss.
your mind, and they'll find out your traits are characteristics, and accordingly they'll plan your future. Studying you, we know what to if you know your strengths and weaknesses, we can accordingly plan what is best for you. Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Right. Right. Can you copy this? Are we done?
Yes, Miss. Done.
Yes, miss.
Right. So benchmarking in HR. So benchmarking in HR means a comparison with selected HR performance indicators from different organizations in the same industry or with comparable organization best in class. So benchmarking means it is setting a benchmark. Okay, benchmarking means it is comparing. Okay, so basically we'll say the benchmark for this year's labor turnover. What is the employee turnover? Employee turnover means number of employees leaving the organization in that particular year is called the employee turnover for that particular year. So the benchmark for this employee turnover is 20 percentage. So this time the employee turnover has to be less than 20 percentage. That is benchmarking. So you can benchmarking is means comparing. Okay, means comparing. So we'll say my benchmark is ABC company, so I am comparing myself against ABC company, and Prashant's benchmark can be Parimala. So if he's performing better than Parimala, then which means that he is performing good, so he has achieved, so he is performing better, so that is called benchmarking. Okay, so you keep a level for you and you want to achieve beyond that level is called this benchmarking. That is why a benchmarking is used. It is basically used for comparison. So what happens is organization benchmark the HR activities. Okay, so there are a lot of HR activities that you have studied throughout the module, like recruitment, selection, employee turnover, what else? There are a lot of human resource processes, and there are a lot of things. Okay, so what happens is the organization will compare themselves in these criteria. Okay, so they will select a particular organization and then they will say, so our company is ABC and there's a company called XYZ, so our benchmark is company XYZ, and the thing that we're going to compare in that XYZ company is the labor turnover. So that is the benchmark. So our benchmark is to have a better labor turnover than company XYZ. So that is, we compare ourselves with another company when it comes to this labor turnover. We had to be better than them. So when their labor turnover is 20 percentage, and so for this year our labor turnover should be less than 20 percentage. So if our labor turnover is less than 20 percentage, which means that we have achieved our benchmark. Okay, so we are better than what we are better than our competitor. Okay, so basically when you do this benchmark, the organization you select should be in the same industry or with comparable organization best in class. So for an example, we'll say that you are in the food industry, you're a restaurant. Can you compare yourself to a clothing business?
No.
No. Okay, so if you all are in the food market, you should compete with somebody, an organization that is operating in the food market. You all can compete yourself with someone who is competing the clothing market. So when you select the organization for benchmarking, it has to be in the same industry, or it has to be an organization where you can compare. Okay, so if the organization's activities are not matching, you can't compare. You all can compare apples and oranges, you all can't. Okay, so those are two different items that you all can't compare. So when you compare, you have to take that into consideration, right? So benchmarking someone with their own industrial competitor will not be that much effective. Right. So basically, do you all have your assignments with you all for me to discuss the assignment like we discussed last week? Do you all have your assignment briefs? HR assignment briefs? Padmara, Dulakshani, Prashant.
Miss,
Yes.
Yeah, miss.
Sorry, I can't hear you all.
We have the briefs.
Right. So can you all take your briefs? I'll explain you all how to do the assignment. Let me also can you all see my screen?
yes, Miss.
I'll also get the assignment brief so that you can see.
It's a big assignment, miss.
Yes, but you all can do it. No, it's not hard. Okay, so let me explain it here. It looks big, but it is easy.
Miss,
Yes.
if you are giving 35 marks, we have to explain lot. Do we have to
Yes.
explain lot?
Yes. Have you seen sample assignments before?
We just see the OB assignment only.
Okay, so I don't think you might have a HR. You can see you saw the OB one, right? So you will have to prepare something like that for HRM. I'll explain you all how to do it. So this is you can see my screen, right?
Mm.
So this is your assignment brief. Okay, there are 3 tasks. Okay, totally 4 tasks for you all to do. So I'll explain you all how to do task 1. Okay, so
The
personal
screen is not. The
Yes,
slide
now
is.
now
No.
we can see the assignment brief. Miss.
can you all see?
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
Right. So you can see task 1, right? So task 1 has 100 marks. So in that, let's look into task 1.1. Okay, personal management and human resource management are having several similarities, but more than that, there are a lot of differences distinguished between personal management and human resource management. So what are they asking you to do here? So they're saying that personal management, human resource management has similarities and differences. You have to find out. Distinguish means you have to find out the similarities as well as the differences. So what I want you all to do is, now please take a piece of paper and pencil and write it down, right? So what I want you all to do is, I want you all to give a brief introduction to what human resource management is. Okay, are you all there?
Yeah, miss.
Yes. So write a brief introduction on what human resource management is and what personal management is. Okay, and if you all want, you all can touch a bit on its importance, why human resource management is important and why personal management is important and how it has developed over the years. Okay, that is not necessary, but if you all want a better grade, you all can write. Okay, so like how it has developed, personal management has developed, not much. Okay, because that is not our question. So you all can explain a bit about all those stuffs, and then you can tell there are few similarities as well as differences when it comes to personal management, human resource management. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is explain all the similarities between personal management and human resource management. Clear?
Mm.
Okay, and then what you have to do is, once you explain the similarities, you have to tell not these two factors are not only similar, but they also have different factors. And then what you have to do is explain about all the different differences when it comes to personal management and human resource management.
And we have to explain each one, no?
Each one means similarities, and then you have to explain the differences.
No, if I say similarity have 5 points, we have to
Yes,
explain that 5 points.
yes, it depends.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Sorry, Dulakshani and Parimala, is that clear? The first question,
Yes, miss.
right? Is that difficult or easy? What you have to, like each one of your assignments are going to be different to one another. So what makes a better assignment is that how much you all think outside the box. Okay, just like I'm telling you all a structure. Okay, but you'll have to put some of your effort in it. You'll have to make it different. Okay, you should always make sure like everybody is going to do this. How can I stand different from the others? So that is what will make a good assignment. Is that clear? So you'll read a lot, you'll read, and then you'll come to a conclusion, right? But these are the factors that needs to be there in the assignment. You can modify it further, right? So I'm going to move to the task 1.2. Okay. Under human resource management, the manager needs to perform several specific functions. Briefly explain each of these functions. You all know the human resource functions, right?
Yes.
So you have to explain. You have to explain each one of these functions,
Okay.
right? And the next one is task 1.3. Line managers give reasonable support in maintaining HR activities. Who are line managers? People who directly deal with the employees. Okay, so these people, we have studied that rather than the human resource management, these line managers also have a very big role when it comes to this HR practices, because the HR department as a whole can't do their functions alone, because they are a very small department and there are a lot of employees. So these HR people can't individually go and evaluate or fulfill all the HR activities. So the line managers have a very big role when it comes to this human resource activities. So you have to explain what are the responsibilities on line managers in aspect of HRM. You have to tell what type of responsibilities these line managers have when they have to perform these HR duties. Do you all remember that we studied it? Can I show you that screen as well? Can you see a new slide?
Yes.
The benchmarking HR, our slides, HR slides. So in that, this is something that we studied initially. Okay, I'll show it to you all, so it'll be easy for you all to do the assignments. So when you look at the roles of HR management, the second one, these were the roles. Okay, guidance roles, advisory roles, service role, control auditing role, planning and organizing role. For the second one, task 1.2. Under human resource management, the manager needs to perform several specific functions. Briefly explain each one of those functions. Yes. So this is what you had to do. So for each of these stuffs, you will have to provide, if possible, advantages and disadvantages as well. Okay. So whatever the question that you are referring to, you should not only talk about the positive side of it. Okay. For a good question, you should always, like, a question does not have only positives to it. Okay. So whenever you talk about, when you analyze the thing, you should always discuss about the negative side of it as well. Clear? Only then it will be a good answer. So now this is the role and responsibility of line managers in HR practices. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the responsibilities. Typically, can you see the management responsibility, people management, managing operational costs? These are stuff that we have studied. Okay. We have studied properly. I want you all to explain each one of this. Is that clear? So these are the factors they are also asking. These are the responsibilities and duties the line managers are doing. So you have to elaborate this further, explain this further. Is that clear to you all? See, explain what are the responsibilities on line managers, no? So these are the responsibilities. You'll have to explain it further. Is that clear? You have to tell what these line managers are, how they help the organization, and then you have to come to the responsibilities. Okay, you can talk about their roles as well. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Right. So shall we move to task 2 now? Task 1, is it clear?
Okay, miss.
Will I be able to get good answers?
Yes.
Okay. So task 2, effective approach on human resource planning, HRP. Okay. So analyze on why human resource planning is vital task in human resource management. Analyze on why human resource management means have to talk about, explain why here the question asks for the importance of human resource planning when it comes to human resource management. So what you'll have to do is you're going to tell me what human resource planning is initially. Okay, so tell me what human resource planning is and then discuss about its important. Why human resource planning is important? That is a question. Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
So whenever I'm saying it to you all, please write it down. If not, you're going to forget it. Right? Take your time and write it down. If you have any doubts, please do ask me. So from today onwards, you all can start writing your assignments. So if you all start writing your assignments, maybe next class when you all come, you all might have doubts. So which will be easy for me to clarify. Clear? So you all better start working on your assignments. So if you all have doubts, you all can come and ask me next class. So that is task 2.1. Tasks 2.2 is research and present what are the main stages of human resource planning along with a diagram. So here you have to explain the main stages of human resource planning. Here you have to explain about the process. Can I see the slides? The process of HRP. You have to explain each of this process. Clear? Prashantan?
I can't see the slide.
Now can you see?
No.
Now?
No. Ah, okay.
So this is the process of HRP. Okay, I have to explain this process in detail. Girls, can you all see?
Yes, miss. Miss and a 4-way explain panel.
Yes, that is the process now. So you have to explain the entire process. So they're asking us to what are the main stages of human resource planning along with a diagram. Okay. So shall I go to task 2.3? Can you all see the assignment brief?
No.
Okay, let me share. Now can you all see?
No.
Now? Can see the assignment brief?
Yes.
Right. So we are done with task 2.2 as well. Okay. And 2.3 is compare human resource recruitment process. Human resource recruitment process in two different organizations, which comes on a knowledge based and human effort based. So you take two organizations and you have to compare the recruitment process for these two organizations. So can you keep question 2.3 and 2.4 for now? Keep it like that. And let's go to task 3. Okay, because that is what we did today. So 2.3 and 2.4, I'll explain it to you all next class again, because that's a bit first of all, I want you all to do the simple stuff. Okay, so these all are simple tasks: 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1 and 2.2. Do those stuff. Those are general stuff, so concentrate on that, and then I'll explain you all task 3, because that is what that we did today. Okay, employee evaluation and motivation. Okay, so 3.1, explain the main concept of motivation and why employee motivation is vital for an organization. So we studied something about motivation, something called motivation. So give me a minute. You will have to discuss what is motivation first of all. Okay, you have to tell what is motivation. Okay, so you have to tell what is. Can I see the slide now? Girls and boys, can you see the slide?
Yes, miss.
Yes, so here you have to explain what is motivation and the importance, why types of motivation if you want, and you can give about this motivation theories also, a bit of motivation theories. Okay, now you all don't have to go deeper, but a small idea regarding this motivation theory, and then tell why motivation, why following this motivation is important, why motivation is important at work. Okay, you have to tell its importance. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Right, let us look into the next question. Okay, done. Why has Lakshani signed in two devices? Why has Lakshani signed in two devices? Right, can I now see the assignment brief? Research and provide discussions on employee appraisal model and what are the main stages in it. So here you have to explain what employee appraisal is and explain the model that we did last class. Do you all remember? Planning. Do you all remember the model? Prashant?
Yes, miss.
Yes. So you have to explain about the model, okay? And then list on and provide explanation on performance appraisal techniques available and used in various organizations to evaluate employees. That is exactly what we did today. Tell what appraisal techniques are, and there are group evaluation techniques and individual evaluation techniques. And out of the two, you have to explain at least two to each. Okay, 360 degree appraisal, at least around like 3 or 4 techniques you have to explain all what you have studied today for a better marks. Is that clear? Right? So, and you have to explain the process of employee monitoring, that also we'll look into. So these are the stuffs that you all can do for now. So task 4, you all be able to do it most probably next class. Okay, next class I'll be discussing task 4 to you all. So is that clear to you all, the assignment?
Yes, miss.
So
Yes,
can you all do the assignment? Is it difficult?
can, miss.
Yes, so if you all start doing it now, it will be much it will be really good, because if you all have doubts, you can come to me and ask the doubts that you'll have. And when you look into the last question, okay, explain the laws that are governing human resource management in your country. This is what I gave you all as your homework to do. Did you all do it? Okay, Dulakshani, can you hear me? Dulakshani.
Yes, miss.
Right. So give it some time. I think it's a signal issue. It will be fine.
Okay, miss.
Okay. So task 4.3, explain the laws that are governing human resource management in your country. Okay, this is exactly what I gave you all to do, but I don't know if you all did it. So next class I will explain it to you all. So there are a few laws that I ask you all to find out. Now, what are the laws? Sex Discrimination Act. Right. So those are the laws that you all have to discuss here. So anyways, we'll do it next class. Okay, are you all okay with the assignment brief so far?
Yes.
Yes. So you all can do 75% of the assignment now, right? So then maybe the next coming 2 weeks, you all be able to do the whole assignment itself. Okay. So we'll get back. Right. Can we start resignation, last part of our module? This is called exit management. Are you copying it? Okay, are we done?
Yes.
Yes. So if you have any doubts regarding the assignment, please do ask me. Now we are moving to the last section, resignation. Okay. Resignation is a process by which an employee gives notice of his or her intention to terminate the employment. So have you heard this word resignation before? This is a commonly used term in an organization. It is a process where an employee gives notice. Okay, gives a letter telling that he or she wants to leave that particular organization or to resign, actually to let go of that job. Is that clear? That is called resignation. Understood? Prashantan, clear? Parimala, Dulakshani?
Yes.
Right. And handling a resignation, right? So can you copy this? Okay, are we done? Right. Handling resignation. Personal occupational reasons are behind the resignation. So if you want to leave an organization, basically it may be due to various reasons. Okay. It can be due to either your personal reasons or occupational. Occupational means your professional reasons. Okay. So it can be due to your family issues that is personal to you, and also it can be due to some professional reasons why you are leaving an organization, right? Reasons will relate to organizational culture, management style, and HR policies. So if you are leaving due to occupational reasons, it can be due to this organizational culture. You don't like the organizational culture, you don't like the management style or the managers, or due to the HR policies. You don't like something about that organization. That's why you are leaving that firm. Is that clear? Okay. Need to find the real reason for leaving the organization. So as an organization, it is my duty to find out why my employees are leaving. Okay, so basically most of the employees wouldn't tell the real reason why they are leaving, because they might be because they are not very much interested to share details. But however, it is my duty to find out the real reason why my employees are leaving. So identifying the reason, next time I may be able to develop it or correct it. Okay, so in that way, I can reduce employee turnover, because employee turnover is costly for the organization. Okay, so all the organization wants to retain the employees rather than letting them go. So we actually need to find out why our employees are leaving. Understood? Yeah. So next one is conducting an exit interview. So when an employee leaves, just like the interview that we had for them during the selection process, we also need to conduct an interview when they leave the firm. That is called the exit interview. Okay, so in this exit interview, we will ask them different questions where we try to find out why they are leaving the firm, and it is just like to get a feedback. Okay, to get a feedback regarding how the work experience was, how the organization was, what are the things that they need to, what they are the things they need to improve, and why are they leaving the firm, would they join the firm. So to find out all this information, we have this exit interview, right? So no legal requirement, one give reasons for leaving. So you don't have to provide them any legal, if you want to leave the firm, you can leave the firm, right? You don't have to provide any legal you don't have to go through any legal issues. Clear? You don't have to give them reasons for you leaving the firm. If you want to leave the firm, you can leave. It can be due to personal or occupational reasons. Is that clear? You just can give a notice letter, a letter to the organization saying that you're leaving. There'll be a duration that you have to work in that organization, and then you can leave the firm. Okay, if you don't like to work in that firm, the organization has no right to hold you back, to hold you all, to keep you all in that organization. Clear? Right. So finally, we'll move to this, the last slide of the day. Resignations policies. We'll stop with this. Dulakshani, what is the problem at your end? Are we okay? Parimal, are we done?
Yes, Miss.
Right. So resignation policies. If you want to resign a firm, there are few policies that you have to like adhere to. Okay, you can't do anything the way you want in an organization that is full of rules and regulations. You will have to stick to all those rules and regulations. Okay. So what is wrong with the? Okay, what is Galaxy J8? Is it Dulakshani?
Yes, miss.
Right. Are you okay?
Okay, miss.
Right. So we're talking about resignation policies. So just like for everything, even when you want to leave a firm, there are rules and regulations that you have to stick to. Okay. You need to decide how long a person should stay even after informing the termination. Termination means you're leaving the firm. That is called terminating. Okay. So you need to decide, you can't just okay, you can't give a notice letter today and you can't leave the firm tomorrow. That is not how it works, because they need to train you. They need to replace someone for you, so that will take some time. So that training will take some time. So you need, when it comes to this resignation, we need to decide how long you have to stay in that organization to before you leave. So that the time that you stay will be mentioned in the notice period that they have given you at the time of joining. Okay, so that's what the second point says. This notice period should be mentioned in the appointment letter or contract agreement. So when you're selected when you're selected in an interview, so they'll give you an agreement to sign. Okay, or it is called the appointment, sorry, or it is called the appointment letter or the offer letter. So in that offer letter, it will clearly say that if you are planning to leave the firm, you have to give a notice for at least a month or 3 months. So it depends on your post. So the period will be clearly mentioned in that agreement. So before that, you have to give the resignation and stay for that period. So we'll say the period is 1 month in your offer letter, you have to stay for 1 month. So from your resignation, we'll say you're giving the resignation April 15th today. So you can leave the firm only in May. That is also on May 15th. Is that clear? So that is that 1 month notice period of this resignation. Within that 1 month, the organization, they will try to replace someone to your post. You have to train that person before you leave. Okay, so all your work will be passed on to that person. Need to consider future threats when this person joins with the competitors. In case we'll say Parimala is leaving my firm and joining my competitor. So I am ABC and my competitor is XYZ. So when she joins my competitor, I have to be careful, because I need to make sure that she is not going to share any of my details with my competitor. So I had to, like, when you are resigning, I have to keep those stuffs in my mind, how it's going to affect my future business activities. Is that clear? Right. So
Yes, miss.
right. So was it clear for today? Was it clear for today? In a summary, I'll tell, okay, everything that we have studied today. So we spoke about the evaluation performance appraisal methods. There are two different types of performance appraisal methods. One is called the individual evaluation method, and the second one is called the group evaluation method. Under this individual evaluation method, there is only one person who is involved in evaluating the employee or the performance, appraising it. Whereas in this group evaluation method, there is like more than a person who is involved in evaluating the employees. So when it comes to this individual evaluation methods, you have confidential reports, essay evaluation, checklist, graphic data, MBO, BAS, all this belong to this individual evaluation method. Whereas group evaluation methods include 360-degree appraisal method, which is the most common appraisal method. So under this 360-degree appraisal method, what happens is a lot of different peoples will evaluate you or appraise you. Okay, so which is the results are more truthful, or the results are more precise and concise. Okay, so basically we'll say in a 360-degree appraisal, your manager, your peers, your customers, your suppliers, as well as you will also evaluate yourself. Okay, there are 5 people who will usually evaluate, that is managers, peers, customers, suppliers, and also you will have to undergo a self-evaluation. You itself will evaluate you, how you have performed over that accounting period. Okay, so then we have this management by objective where um then we have this management by objective where the employee and the manager sits together and they decide the goals, and then on and off they will sit together and see how they are achieving their goals. If they are going apart from their goals, they will find out ways to come back to track. Okay, so that is by management by objectives. But still, management by objective and as well as 360-degree, the biggest disadvantage when it comes to these two appraisal methods are that they are time consuming and are costly for an organization. Just like it has its own disadvantages, it also has its advantages, right? So you'll have to, so in your assignments, uh, make sure you discuss about the advantages as well as disadvantages when you discuss this appraisal methods, right? So, and then we also studied about assessment centers where they will put you all through various different tests. Okay, they will give you all group tests, individual tests, and all these role plays, dramas, and all those stuffs, and they'll find out who you really are. They will study about your personality. Okay, so they will study about your personality. They will actually study about your personality, and accordingly but however, there are also disadvantages when it comes to this type of assessment method, sorry, this type of appraisal method, because it can be unhealthy competition. It can create jealousy, it can create problems among the people who are working together. So that is assessment center method. And then you have this assessment center method was initially done by German army in 1930, but however, we are not using that method in whole, because the army method is very like autocratic and stuff like that. So here today we're using things that are like more suitable for us. Okay, and then we have behavioral anchor rating scale, where in this method everything is on a rating scale. Okay, so all the criteria that I'm going to measure you is being rated. So this is this picture, this provides clear standards. This is easy for us to see, and the feedback is also good when it comes to this method. So that is behavioral bars, if not. And then you have the psychological appraisal. Psychological appraisal is conducted by a qualified psychologist, where he studies your mind, okay, where he studies your traits, and then he plans your future. This psychological appraisal is not for your past performance, but it is to plan your future performance in an organization. Is that clear? And then we also studied benchmarking in HR, where there are different factors. Okay, there are few factors where the organization will compare itself against another organization. Where so benchmarking is important. So without comparing yourself, you all can't grow better. Just like that, for an organization also, they will compare the HR activities. For an example, they'll compare the recruitment activities, they'll compare the selection activities, they'll compare the labor turnover, all these stuff they'll compare against the competitors. So they will compare and see if they are good or bad. So comparison is important in an organization. And then we also looked into what resignation is. Resignation is you leaving a firm. Okay, so giving a notice letter or informing the management you can leave a firm with you have to stay for a particular period, and then you can leave the firm. That particular period is mentioned in your letter. What letter? Your offer letter or your appointment letter. So before leaving the firm, there's something called this exit interview that you'll have to attend. So in this exit interview, we'll actually find out why you actually left the firm, the real reason why you left the firm. Is that clear to you all? Today's lesson, everybody?
Yes, Miss.
Parimala and Dulakshani?
Yes, please. Yes.
Right. So if you all have any doubts, please come back to me next class. Start doing your assignments, and if you all have any doubts in the assignments, let's come back next class, and please try to do the activity that I have given you all last class. Clear?
Yes, miss. Thank
So
you.
then we'll end the class for today.
Yeah, miss.
Hope everything is okay. Right. So have a good week. Start working on your assignments.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Have a nice
See
day.
you.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Have a nice week. See you all.
Have a nice day. Bye. Be
Okay,
safe.
thank you.
Okay, be safe all. Welcome.
Bye, Anna. Bye, Deluxe and Deluxe. Bye.
Bye.